Hello, beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful and a blessed day. My name is Tina, and I am here today with my very first YouTube channel. And the title of this video is If God Called You to It, You Can Do It. As you guys can tell, it is my first video. God called me to it, and I am doing it. And I have a very important message that I would like to share with you guys. So let me just go ahead, and I am gonna make an intro video, but I do want to give you guys a little bit backstory how this whole title came about. So last year, God has been, pulling on my heart to start a YouTube video, to start using my voice, and I have tried YouTube back in 2013 and all throughout the year, but I was never consistent, and I was just like, you know what, I don't want to do this. I gave up on it because I was going through so much in life. So when he brought it back to my attention, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. And throughout the year, he kept on pulling on my heart until recently, last month and this month, but this month, it was like, no, you have to do this thing. So I wrote it down. I made a plan. I said, okay, God, I'm gonna start this YouTube channel. What am I gonna talk about? And I was at work, and while I was working, I had a client, and the title just came to my mind. If God called you to it, you can do it. And this is how important, like, you guys, I wrote this on here. This was a card that I wrote, and on this card, it was pretty much things to pray for, like wealth, financial wealth, spiritual wealth, and all these type of things. So I had this card on my desk, and as soon as I received that title, I wrote it down, and as you guys can see, it says first YouTube video. So this is how the title came about. And I thought that was so awesome that God will call me to do something and then give me the first video to put up, because I didn't really know, like, I don't know, what am I going to talk about? Like, what do you say? So anyway, you guys, there was a message that I received. I have my notebook. Please bear with me. I'm going to be reading because I made some points on here that I really want to touch on. Like I stated, this is God video pretty much. He says, if God called you to it, you can do it. It's a message for you. I believe in this season, God is calling a lot of people, but because of fear and past failure, we're struggling mentally to step out of that comfort zone. So I want to make sure I hit these points just as he gave it to me. And then of course, at the end of the video, I'll add whatever I have to add. So the first thing that God gave to me is faith is stepping into the unknown without knowing all the details. I am the type of person that I plan. I am a big planner. I look at everything. I have a very busy life, so I'm always planning, but not only that, I'm always asking God questions, and I love to know. I literally love to know details, and this is something that God is working with me on in this season of my life. Is you don't have to know the details. You don't have to know the how. What you have to do is get the step in. That is faith. So if God called you to do something, you don't need to know the how it's going to get done. You don't really need to know where to go. But whatever he said, for example, he said, start a YouTube channel. I know how to start a YouTube channel. I know how to enroll. I know I have a camera. So guess what? I'm doing what I do know. As far as what's going to happen with this channel, I have no idea. As far as the video I'm going to make, how often I'm going to make it, what I'm going to talk about, to be honest with you guys, I have no idea. I'm the type of person where I want to know all those things before I get started. I am also a business owner, so that business mindset and way of thinking is in me. But when it comes to God and faith and being a person of service to the world and service in God, you don't need to know the how. You don't need to know every detail. Your faith is in you stepping into that unknown, man, and being uncomfortable. So that was the first thing, and I am a living testimony. I'm doing it now, and I do believe this message is for you to do the same as well. You know what God told you to do. The next point is, you are your voice. Your voice is your God-given authority. Use it to change the world. You guys, I lied not. God spoke that word, and I was convicted. I was convicted for a few reasons. For me, I have gone through so much, and I have a lot of wisdom. I have a lot of experience. And when I received this, I realized I am holding someone else's destiny. I am literally, by being silent, I am silencing someone else. I am holding on to someone else's purpose. Someone else cannot go to their next level in life because I'm not using my voice. Someone else is going through pain and they need healing. I have gone through that, but I'm silent, so therefore they're suffering. So your voice is your God-given authority. It doesn't matter your status. It doesn't matter your age. If God have taken you through something and brought you out of something, he has given you some great treasure that someone else need. And you have to use that. Use your voice, whether it's on YouTube, in your neighborhood, whatever it is. You want to make sure you open your mouth. Your voice carry the authority of God. The Bible tells us that life and death is in the power of our tongue. So oftentimes we see that as just proclaiming blessings over ourselves or even curses over ourselves, but that life and that death also refer to you speaking in somebody else's life. Your testimony can shift somebody else's life. It can give someone else life. So I want to encourage you, whatever God has called you to do not diminish yourself. Do not feel like, oh, I'm just this little person who's going to listen to me. I'm not famous. I'm not an influencer. Your voice is powerful. Your voice carries the authority of God, and that is it. So use your voice. Use your voice to change your own life. Use your voice to change the life of others. Use your voice to change your community in the littlest way, whether it's by speaking encouragement, whatever it is. Do not be silenced. When we're silenced, we're silencing someone else. So that is one thing, and that is why God called us, so that we can go ahead and set others free as well. The next thing is your gifts, your voice, your experience are all part of God's bigger picture. This is God's bigger picture. Oftentimes we take our gifts as God's purpose, but God's purpose is so much bigger than that. In the book of Genesis 1:26, chapter 1, verse 26 to 28 tells us that God told us, he made us in his image after his likeness. And then he told us to go out into the world, to multiply, to be fruitful, to have dominion. You have to study that word dominion. God's purpose is so big. The gifts that you have, your experience, whether it's at work, whether it's by the hardship you went through in life, whatever it is, all of that. You may have seen it as something that was bad, but it was really, truly all part of God's bigger plan for you, to take you to your place of promise, to take you into that destiny so that you can then grab someone else and take them as well. So that is something that it shook me to my core, because and it really brought healing to my heart, because I have gone through so much. My trials in life started at age 5. I was born and raised in Africa. I'm going to make an intro video, but just to give you guys a brief summary, I was born and raised in Africa in poverty, and we went through literally civil war. So as a little girl at 5 years old, I had to start working. Literally, my childhood at 5 years old started as my adulthood. And throughout life, even being in America, I faced so many other things that I felt like, God, you don't love me. If you did, all of these painful things wouldn't have happened to me. I wouldn't have been so broken. And it wasn't until God revealed to me that your experiences, your gifts, all of these things that you have gone through, it was all part of my bigger plan. And it may not make sense that I'm speaking it to you. I'm speaking now to you. But trust and believe me, it all happened for you. Everything that I went through made me wiser, that now I can help so many other people. Not just wise in one areas of life, but literally in every areas of life, literally speaking. And it even drew me closer to God as well. Even in my failures, I learned so many lessons. You know, I started my business when I was 18. I am now 26. I failed miserably. And I'm finally in the stage where God is working and we're rebranding everything and doing everything. But all of those failures, you guys, there's a purpose for it. And it wasn't until taking that time out and sitting down, being honest with myself, going through therapy, praying, and just letting God to reveal his will to me, that I begin to see that all of these things really, it was part of God's bigger plan. So I want you to understand and know that whatever God is calling you to do is attached to something from the past that you have overcome. So you don't have to be afraid of that. Go forward, move forward, because other people are dependent upon you. The last point that I wrote on here is don't worry about the provision. When you get the step in, when you start stepping in that faith, the provision is going to come. And I am someone, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Yeah, I want the provision. I want my bread, I want my butter, I want my fruit, I want my drink, I want everything. Then I'll get the step in. But I had to learn the hard way. Again, literally, you guys, God stopped everything in my life, down to the finance, like everything. Because he had to teach me, when you do what I tell you to do, when you start stepping, the provision are going to come. And it wasn't until I received that message that I was like, that makes sense. Think about it. I'm going to use this as an example. Since we're talking about God called you to it, you can do it, right? Normally, I want a setup. I want a nice fancy studio. I am a business owner. I go through the whole photo taking studio and all these nice things, right? The lights, the camera, all of that. I love it, right? Well, I just moved into a new apartment and my living room isn't set up. This is literally like my office space. It's not how I want it to be. It's not all fancy. It's just plain Jane right now. I still don't have couch in my living room and all these things. So technically speaking, I feel like I'm not ready to do YouTube because I don't have my setup the way I wanted to. And I have to use my phone, but I really want this camera. And I was looking at camera and stuff and it's like, girl, you can't get that right now. You got other business things and you're trying to, pay off debt. You cannot have that. Literally, guys, if it was 6 months from now, I would have been with my old thinking, I wouldn't have started. Because my old way of thinking is I need to have everything ready in order to get started. Not realizing that when you get started, God begin to provide because the provision is ahead of you. The provision is ahead of you. It's not where you are. It's literally that step you are taking. Every step there is that provision. So even though I don't have everything right now, because I'm starting my video, I know deep in my soul, that every provision, everything that I need for every areas of my life is already ahead of me. And all that I have to do is be obedient, not disobedient, guys. Be obedient, not disobedient. It's to be obedient and do exactly what God tells me to do. So I just want to encourage you. We see the things that are going on in this world. We see the ways of this generation, and many of you have the wisdom to correct so many things. You have the wisdom to raise so many people. You have the wisdom. God has placed it within you. Those bad experiences you faced in life, all of that gave you that wisdom and knowledge, and the world needs that. Use your voice. If God told you to start a business, understand that he's going to provide. You may not know how, but just get started. Maybe it's just writing it down. God told me to start this business for this and this and that. And then do what you can or what you know. And he's going to provide the rest. Maybe God told you to write a book. Go ahead and get started. Maybe it's a nonprofit organization. Get started. Maybe it's a YouTube channel just like myself with no subscriber, no views. Get started. Get started. Get started and just step in and see what he's going to do. I truly don't have any expectation of myself. Usually I have high expectation of myself, but now I have shifted that to putting my expectation on God, where it's not like, oh, if I don't have this amount, then I'm just going to leave it. No, my expectation is I'm going to step where God has called me, and I know that God is going to do signs and wonder. I know that God is going to do great things. He's going to lead me to places that I cannot even imagine. He's going to do things that I have not even thought of or even asked for. That is my only expectation, and that is nothing but Ephesians 3:20. So I just want to encourage you, whatever God has called you to, I am here to tell you that you can do it. Everything that you need is within you. Your skills, your voice, everything that you need is within you. The miracle is within you. Get started and get moving. I hope this video really blessed you guys, and I am so excited to see what God is going to do with this channel through me to help you guys to transform your life. Whatever it is, I am excited. I'm just a vessel. Literally, I'm just like God guinea pig, and he's just doing an experience on me right now. So Hey, it's a venture. I am here for it. I hope you guys are excited, and as he speaks, I'm going to continue to make videos and be as obedient as I can. And we're just going to have fun and have a great time and really move into God bigger and better for our life, because we truly are children of the Most High God, called to do great and marvelous things. No matter what you have gone through, no matter what your circumstances are, it is not over as long as you're breathing, as long as you are here. You better understand that God is within you and God is able and capable of doing all things. With God, all things are possible. And I am rooting for you on your journey to whatever it is God called you to. If this video is for you, man, just comment below and tell me, what did he call you to do? What has he been tugging at your heart at so long that it took this video to get you started? I really want to hear that. Thank you guys so much for listening.